linked up at Polino. The old myrmidon grinned down at me, grizzled as when I first knew him, the scuffed old leather patch obscuring one eye. "You been at this long enough." "I didn't hear you coming, old man," I said, going to one knee. It was only then that I remembered Polino was dead and found myself staring up at empty air. I shut my eyes, opened them again. I was alone. My knees ached from the kneeling and my whole body complained as I struggled to rise. My ruined shoulder protested and I used my left arm, the arm with hollow bones, to push myself to my feet. I could scarce remember when last I had been so tired. It must have been that first night aboard the Ascalon after Valka and I escaped from Aktarumu. Thinking of Aktarumu, of Polino, who had died there with some many thousand others, and of Dareica's coronation, darkened the newborn day, as though grey clouds buried the pale sun. But I reached out and laid my hand, my three-fingered right hand, upon the top stone of Gibson's cairn. No words came to me, no final speech, no promise. What could I say to him that I had not already said? That he did not already know? Nothing. I only brushed the dew from the top stone, bearing the faint inscription I had made with the point of my fishing knife. I smiled down at it a long moment, and raised my face to the sun. It was time. Valka saw me returning before any of the others. I wondered if she had been sitting up for me in the old camp, sleepless as I'd remained sleepless beside Gibson's tomb. Wordless, she embraced me, cool fingers on my face. We drew apart and she asked, "Are you all right?" Looking round, I saw Imra standing, so like Siren, in the door to one of the dormitory pods my Red Company had left upon the beach centuries before. "Too many ghosts," I said, and smiled. "You look like hell," Valka said, drawing my attention away from the young keeper of Thessa. "It was a long night," I said, putting my hands on her shoulders. I did my best to smile once more. Valka stepped back. Her golden eyes swept me up and down, evaluating. "You should clean yourself up. I've got most everything on the boat. Imra says we can leave when you're ready." "I am ready," I said. "I can wash on the Ascalon. We shouldn't linger. The Empire knows we're here?" Valka gave a small nod. "They must. I had to use my name to call for Gibson's doctor. They're bound to notice." I looked out to sea, toward the grey shape on the brightening horizon that was the Isle of Ruocchio. Presently I turned to Imra. "I fear I've brought the hammer down on you and your people," I told her. The Severastine native swore an oath in her language whose meaning I could well guess, and she gestured as if to throw something away. "They will not bother us. It's you they want." "All the more reason for us to go now," I said to her, and Valka both. I would never forgive myself if any harm befell the islanders. "What will you do?" Imra asked. Valka and I held one another's gaze a long moment then, neither speaking. We had rehearsed our plan before several times. I had intended to go straight to Ea and the Athenaeum at Nov Belgaire, after we visited Thessa and the other islands, but the discovery that Gibson was alive against all hope and reason had shredded what thin resolve we had. After so many years alone aboard the Ascalon, after that black day on Ewa, and all that I had suffered on Darantune, I had not been able to bring myself to return to the Imperium proper, to place myself in their power, at their mercy. I had not wanted to leave Gibson. Still, I had always known I must. Not taking my eyes from Valka, I answered Imra, saying, "We'll leave directly for the city. They probably won't expect that. I mean to land at Nov Belgaire and speak to the scholiasts." My voice trailed off as I remembered Gibson's muttering in his fevered dreams. He had spoken of his son, his true son.